Hello there. Today we're gonna continue our video about creating AI React chatbot using OpenAI REST API. And the last part we stopped on the part where we initialized our Vite React project. We pushed it to the GitHub, and also we initialized Vercel project and set up a continuous deployment. And as a result, we have that website with that URL running on Vercel. This is the project, and as you can see, 3 days ago was the last change. So today we're gonna continue working on this template to at least get started with the chat. So let's think about what we're gonna do next. I usually start working by visualizing the result, and it may be helpful because it may allow you to understand what functionality you would like to have and to decide with the future functionality and see like the future result. So what I suggest is to make some layout first, just as a mock-up, and then we'll be able to build on top of that. Yep, so let's get started. We can go to our code editor and let's see what we have. So to get started, I would suggest to go to tailwindcss.com, which is a CSS utility library, which will allow us to make quite fast development, not bothering on writing raw CSS, vanilla CSS code, but instead using those classes utilities, which will help us to write code quicker. So this is how the Tailwind CSS is installed, but I think that it's not gonna be enough. We're gonna not only use Tailwind, but also we want some kind of UI library, right? To not reinvent the wheel. And the library I would usually I use ShadCN. It can be found on this URL, not this one. ShadCN, yeah, UI-shadcn.com, and it uses Tailwind, works with alongside with the Tailwind, and let's see how it's installation, and there is already Vite installation for Vite, instructions for Vite installation alongside with the Tailwind CSS. So let's do this. We go to our terminal and we just paste this command npm create Vite latest. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is not what we want, right? We already created the project. The only thing we want to do is to install ShadCN. So that's where we start. npm install tailwind css, post css, and auto prefixer, and then we initialize tailwind. So that's the first step, installing tailwind, and then on top of that we can then install ShadCN. Okay, now it says that we need to edit tsconfig JSON and only add compiler options, base URL, and paths. So let's see what tsconfig do we have. Right, we don't have. Okay, that's the basic, and that's what we want. So base URL and paths we don't have neither, so we'll just paste it over there. Do we have a source? Yes. Now add the following code to tsconfig app.json file to resolve. Okay, that's what we did, right? Then update with config ts. If we go here, it says that we need to install types node. I think it's already there. Types, no, nope, it's not there. So we need to install types node, and then we go back to our with config, and let's see, we have plugins React, and we need to put this resolve alias. And why we need types node is just to use the path, and we did that. Define config, it's good, and now we can initialize ShadCN. Okay, to proceed, yes. Let's wait for initialization. Okay, we've got some issue validating tailwind CSS, validating import alias. No tailwind CSS configuration found at. It's likely you do not have tailwind CSS installed, or you have invalid configuration. No import alias found in tsconfig JSON. Okay, maybe we missed something. Let's see. So that is sweet. Okay. Add the base URL and path properties to the compiler section of the tsconfig JSON and tsconfig app.json. So it should be in both places, right? We shouldn't just add to one. So we have that inside of our app, tsconfig app, and then we have to add to the base tsconfig JSON. Now let's try to init it again. Okay, it's still not found. And what is the reason? Compiler options. No tailwind configurations, likely do not have tailwind installed. Visit. Okay. There is import alias, but no tailwind. Should we use tailwind TS. Let's see. No, it's not gonna help. So what we missed, create, edit tsconfig JSON, app JSON. Did we put that into the correct place? Right into the compiler options. Okay. Let's see. Haven't changed that much, you know. But let's see, npx. Okay, post css config js. Do we have that? Yes. Install, and this added tsconfig JSON. That's what we did. Okay, let me quickly figure it out, and I'll pause for a second and see you in a few seconds. Okay, the reason was quite simple. I had to add this property content to tailwind config and this import tailwind. Let's see what was the reason. Was it the import problem or tailwind config.js? Okay. Interesting. So this was not a problem. That's what was the problem, right? Right. That's really interesting. Okay, now it offers to choose between two styles. That's the default style. We don't care that much. Neutral style. Would you like to use CSS variables for theming? Yep, I would like. Okay. Now we can see that our index CSS have been updated. Tailwind config 2, but we want to also put the configuration inside of Tailwind CSS, config.js I mean, because the content right now, content property is empty, and it should be like this. So it should actually listen for all the files within this. It's not called regular expressions, it's like some kind of expression. It should listen to those files which have JS, TS, JSX extensions inside of src and subfolders, and then once anything updates, it will rebuild CSS. So we added that, and actually the ShadCN is initialized, this UI library. And now let's try to add the first component. You can do that by just putting this command. Okay, the button has been added, and we can see that we've got a new folder called components with a button component. Let's close all the files and let's try to use this component inside of our main page app component. So what we do, we just type button hello there, and I'll remove all the unused imports. We don't need that. So, but it highlights that it's not imported, right? It says add import to button with Alt plus Enter. That's what is how auto importing works in WebStorm. And we're gonna do this all imports with Alt Shift Enter. That's interesting. I haven't tried that yet. It would be really nice. It's not very safe because it will. So if we hit Alt Enter, okay, that's interesting. Add import button with Alt plus Enter. So Alt Enter. Okay, it has been added, and if we do, okay, Alt Shift Enter does the same thing because there is only one import. But if we do multiple imports, it will do the multiple. Okay. Now, there is also some properties. The main property is variant, and we can point the type of button we want. It can be default, ghost, link, destructive, secondary. So we can use default. It can be even omitted if you want the default one. And let's see, is it going to, let me run the project actually. This is being served on this port, and now as you can see, button exists, and we have that button in our main component. That's how ShadCN is being initialized, and that is a pretty cool library. You will see during our development, during this project, how it's useful and how it's convenient to use this library for a rapid development. That's all for this video. In the next video we'll continue working on this project. Especially we'll continue working on the basic layout. Yep. See you. Bye.